Today we're going to have a look at what is the safest way to still be using Windows 7 in October 2024. We're going to look at what security you should have, what apps you should be using, and how you should be using it. Stick around, all the details coming up shortly. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to my channel. Doing these three things help us make more great videos for you. So, as I say, today we're going to look at how you can safely use Windows 7 as of October 2024. Now, if you didn't know, Microsoft dropped support for this in January 2020. That was nearly 5 years ago, but I still know quite a few people still using Windows 7. Now, there's no doubt about it. There's no way you can be 100% secure with Windows 7 any longer, as Microsoft are not patching it up anymore. They're not making security updates for it. So this means if a hacker was to find a vulnerability in Windows 7, Microsoft aren't patching it. And there's probably hundreds, if not thousands, of vulnerabilities that have been found in Windows 7. So there are ways that hackers can get into your system. So I would suggest never, ever use Windows 7 anymore for doing online banking, making purchases using your credit or debit card, and definitely don't be using it for business and storing customer data on there, because there's a good chance that somebody can now hack into it and grab all your information. If you only use it for certain programs or apps and they don't need the internet to run, then unplug that internet cable or disconnect from the Wi-Fi. If you're not sure whether they need the internet or not, then disconnect it from the Wi-Fi, unplug the cable, try it, see if it works. But if you really must be using Windows 7 and have it connected to the internet, we're going to show you what apps you should be using. So first of all, I would suggest make sure that you're fully up to date with the updates up until when Microsoft stopped releasing them. So go into the Start menu, go to Control Panel, and then if you've got this menu here, click on System and Security, and then click Check for Updates. And then click there, Check for Updates. Let it check, see if there are any updates. Now, if when you go into Control Panel, it looks more like this, then scroll down if you need to, click on Windows Update, and again, click Check for Updates and let it check for updates. If it finds updates, then just follow the instructions on screen to install them. I would say once it's found and installed the updates, if it tells you to restart, then restart it. If it doesn't tell you to restart the computer, then restart it anyway and refollow those instructions and keep checking for updates until you get this message here saying no important updates available. Don't worry about the optional updates. It's the important updates. But even if you do see this, once you do see this, then try clicking Check for Updates just a few more times just to see if it finds any updates, just to see if it finds any further updates. Now, first things first, we want to make sure that we've got an up-to-date security on here. Now, first things first, we want to make sure that we've got an up-to-date browser on here. So open your browser. If you've got Microsoft Edge on the system, this here, then open it. It will be an old version, but it should still work. Or if you're using Internet Explorer down there, then open that. And then what you want to do is you want to go to the address bar at the top of the screen, just up there, and then type in there cwtek.co.uk/WD/ just as it's shown on the screen. No spaces and all in lowercase. Pause this video if you need to write this down. Once you've typed it in, press enter or return on your keyboard, and then you should see this page here. Scroll down, and what you're looking for here is Windows 7 Essentials. Now here you've still got a couple of antiviruses that still seem to be supported under Windows 7. Now I've noticed that recently, I think it's Norton 360, they've dropped support. I think McAfee have dropped support. Norton is owned by Avast and AVG, so I've got a feeling that they've dropped support, or if they haven't, they're going to sooner or later. But strangely enough, Microsoft Security Essentials, that still uses the updates from Windows Defender, which is used in Windows 10 and Windows 11. So they've never said that they're going to end support for this. They will do one day, but they've not announced the date that they're going to support this. Microsoft Security Essentials is very lightweight. Some people don't like it. If you don't like it, then you've got a couple of other options here. You've got Kasperski, the free version. They are still supporting it. They haven't yet, as far as I can find out, given an end date to the free version. But obviously I can understand that with the current thing that's going on at the moment in the world, some people might feel a bit uneasy using that. Some people in the States, I believe, can't use it because they've changed into a different company. Or you've got Bitdefender free. Now, as I understand it, at the moment, it looks like they're likely to drop support in January 2025 for Windows 7 for Bitdefender free. However, this may be extended. So whichever one you want to download, just click on it. If an advert comes up, click close. And if you've gone to Microsoft Security Essentials, you'll see this page here. Click on download and click on the top MSE install and then click download. Let it download. Once it's downloaded, click on the cross in the top right hand corner of your browser. Click on any yellow folder, go to downloads and then double click MSE install. Then click yes if this comes up. Then just click next. Click I accept. Click I don't want to join the program at this time. Click next again and let it install. And then click install again. Once it's installed, click on finish. And as you can see here, it's searching and updating virus and spyware definitions. Now, the thing I like about Microsoft Security Essentials, at one time, it wasn't that great an antivirus, but it's much, much better now. It does pick up a lot more viruses than it ever did. But the main thing is it's very lightweight on the system. So if you haven't got a very powerful system, you'll barely notice it running in the background. Once it's installed the update, it will do a quick scan. If I just click on the update tab up there, you will see there you go. It shows you there definitions created on the 20th of October 2024. So that is today at 8:32 in the morning. And it's the latest version, as I say, as used by Windows Defender in Windows 10 and Windows 11. And the other great thing about Microsoft Security Essentials is no sign up is required and there's no extras. They're not going to try and push any extras out to you either. If you decide you want to install Kasperski, then again, click on Kasperski, close any ads that come up on the screen. Then when you get to this page, choose your cookie settings. I'm just going to use necessary. Scroll down to the download there, left click download. And then once it's downloaded, close down your browser. And I should say, if you've already got another antivirus installed, then please remove it. These don't coexist with other antiviruses. Click on the yellow folder, click on downloads, and then double click on Kasperski for Win. And it'll have a number there, and then click run if that comes up, and then click on continue. Click on I confirm that I've fully read and understand the agreement and I'm aware of the agreement that my data will be handled and transmitted. So have a look through this agreement, make sure you're happy with it, then click accept. If you click decline, you won't be able to install it. And here is the statement regarding data processing for marketing purposes. You're okay to click decline on that one. And this one here, it's up to you whether you accept it or decline it. I'm just going to decline it and I'm now going to let it install. Now, if you see, like mine, this yellow shield flashing at the bottom there, just click on the yellow shield, click on yes. Now, it might disappear off the screen, the Kasperski install box, but just leave it. It will come back. There you go. Now, Kasperski does give you security, internet security and ransomware protection, but you do have to create a My Kasperski account for you to be able to use this. So if you haven't got one already, then you can create one just by entering in your email address, or if you have got one already, then enter in your registered email address and it should ask for your password. Now, I've just entered in mine, so I'm just going to click continue. So it now gives us this statement regarding data processing. So scroll down, okay, right the way down, and click accept if you accept it, or click decline if you don't. If you do click decline, then you're not going to be able to use it. So you have to click accept and then just click scan in the background. Let it do a scan of your computer. So here, just click next. Again, click next or turn on, and again, click next or turn on. Just make sure all of these things are on. And it says here, protect more devices, scan the QR code to get Kasperski on your smartphone. With the free version, I think you can have up to 2 devices. So just keep clicking next until you get to finish, and then click finish. Now, so far I've found Kasperski free to be very good, very lightweight on the system, a bit like Microsoft Security Essentials. But it is the free version, and they do have a more advanced version to sell to you. So you might see from time to time offers coming up on the screen. As you can see here already, recommendations, special offer, think you've got the best protection, wait till you see this. And that, when you click view now, shows you their paid for options. But I think the free version for most people is good enough. There's also an extension that you can install in your browser too, to try and reinforce the security. This will get offered to you from time to time if you want to install it. Updates to the antivirus database are automatic, and they will come through at regular intervals, so there's no need for you to manually update, but you can go into security and then into update there to check for the latest updates if you want to check sooner if there are any updates. You can also choose your scan there, so you can click in security and choose whether you want to do a quick scan or a full scan or a select scan or a removable devices scan. Good if you're plugging in a USB stick and you just want to make sure that everything is safe. You will though notice though, if you scroll down in security, some of the other things like intrusion prevention, network monitor, smart home monitor are all only available with a subscription. The same if you go into the performance section there and the privacy section. A lot of stuff in there is only available if you've got a paid for subscription. If you decide you want to go for Bitdefender, then click on Bitdefender free, close down any ads that come up, and then click on free download for Windows. Let it download. Once it's downloaded, click on the cross in the top right hand corner of your browser, click on any yellow folder, go to downloads, and then double click on Bitdefender_AV free. If this comes up, click run. If this comes up, click yes, and then just let it download and install. It is quite a big download, so it might take some time. Once you get to this page here, you have to click I read and accept the subscription agreement. You can click on subscription agreement if you want to read it. Take the tick out of product reports and then click install. And now just let it install. So once it's installed, you have to click Start Device Assessment. This will do a scan of your computer, but it may ask you in Bitdefender free to sign in or register for a Bitdefender account. This is free, but it is something that's necessary. Also, I have noticed that Bitdefender is quite heavy on system resources, and obviously note that they might be ending support for Windows 7 as of January 2025. I know originally they said they was going to end support for it in 2024, but that was extended at the 11th hour, so it may well be extended again, who knows. So here we are, it's asking us to sign in with a Bitdefender account. If you haven't got one, then you can click create one for free. So once you've signed in, if this comes up, then just click on allow, and if this comes up, click on allow again, and then it should successfully sign in. It should then start configuring Bitdefender. Once it's installed, if you don't see it on the screen, then click on that little B just down there and then just click finish, and there we are. It says at the top there, you are safe. Now, you have got other options here, but some of them are limited. Some of them are only available on the paid for versions or the upgrade version that you do have to pay for. You got the VPN down there. That is free, but it's only limited. It's free for a week, I believe, and then you get 200 megabytes per month of data, which really isn't enough, but don't worry too much about the VPN. If you go into settings down the bottom there is something here. It's special offers. You can turn that off to hopefully reduce the amount of special offers you get for paid for versions. You are still going to see things from time to time popping up with regards to special offers. Again, this gives great all-round security. It updates automatically, so it's pretty good from that point of view, but it's possible that it could disappear in early 2025. And also, if your system isn't the fastest system in the world, it could end up bogging it down. If we go through the protections there, as you can see, all the ones with padlocks beside them are going to require a subscription. So, but generally for most people, the antivirus and the basics are pretty much good enough. A lot of the privacy features, again, are paid for, and same with utilities. You have got decryption tools there. If your computer gets hit by ransomware, then there's a chance they might be able to decrypt the files if they are able to, but there's no guarantees. In my next video, we are going to talk about browsers, what browsers you can use in Windows 7. So look out for that. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button so that you get notified as soon as that video is released. We are then going to talk about a Office package for Windows 7 and also how to view PDF files. We're also going to talk about email clients and a zip manager for zipping and unzipping files. So as I say, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button so that you find out as soon as that video is released. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, consider hitting that thanks button and making a donation to this channel. Or if you can't do that, then have a look in the description down below. We've got some great links down there for you to various things, including my Amazon shop, which contains all the things I love at the moment on Amazon: Fire TV sticks, Fire TV cubes, and VPNs. Buying, subscribing, and donating really does help support this channel. It helps me to be able to dedicate more time to spend researching to bring you these great videos. And whilst you're at my YouTube channel, why not stick around? I've got thousands of other videos for you right here, right now, covering all sorts of subjects. Hopefully whilst you're here, you're going to find something to educate you, entertain you, amuse you, and maybe even save you some time and money. And if you do see any videos that you think your friends, your family, or your work colleagues might like to see, then please don't forget to share these videos on your social media timelines. You can check me out on X. I'm at CWTEK. You can also check out my website. It's cwtek.co.uk. Thanks for watching, and speak to you again soon.